Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to The Business Blueprint on Good Morning Gwinnett, where host Audrey Bell-Kearney shares practical business ideas for aspiring entrepreneurs. Streaming Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m., this show is all about helping people start businesses for $500 or less. Audrey breaks down simple, affordable ways to turn ideas into income, because success starts with smart, strategic moves. Get ready to take action and build something great.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. 49 degrees. We're going up to a high of 76, y'all. Oh, I'm excited. It's hump day, baby. It is hump day Wednesday. You have made it to the MIDDLE. It is almost a weekend, but somebody's saying, yes, thank the Lord. I get it. I get it. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your day. I woke up bright and early this morning. I forgot. I set my clock for 6 a.m. And then when I got up, I had some work to do. So I actually got up and started working like 6:30. I don't normally start to work. I meditate and all that, but I had a lot on my mind. I was like, I got to get busy. So I started working at 6:30 this morning. But anyway, today is a great day. Today I'm talking about something that I've been doing for a very long time, probably even longer than I've been podcasting, and that's been blogging. And I want to talk to you today about how to start a blogging business. Let me tell you, the industries, all of them have changed so much since I started, right? I'm like what they call an early adopter, right? I'm the person that when it comes out, I'm on it, right? And by the time everybody else catch up, I'm burned out. The difference between where I am now and where I started was because is huge. Because when I started blogging, I was blogging on something called Blogger. And I think blogger.com is still around, and I probably still have a blog out there somewhere with the AOL email address attached to it. I'm almost sure I do. I just don't remember what it was, because when it started happening, I started to do it. I came right out the game like, I love this, and I do. And what's crazy is I had no idea that all of these things would become what they have become. I had no idea that people would be making millions of dollars from blogs. I had no idea that people would be making millions of dollars from podcasting. I had no idea that people would be making millions of dollars on YouTube. When I tell y'all, I started all of these things when they first started. I did. I started YouTube YouTube came out in 2005. I started in 2006. I had a show called Sister Inc. on YouTube, produced by someone who produced a show for a TV station. He produced my show. It's sitting on YouTube right now. When I look back at that, and I saw that I had started in 2006 when YouTube started in 2005, I wanted to cry actually, because I missed it. I felt like I had missed my opportunity. What I want to tell you today is that the opportunities are still available. We just have to do them in a different way. I still have YouTube channels. And they are big business these days. I have Good Morning Gwinnett, which is really a blog. It's a news blog platform. And I do that religiously. I have this podcast that I started podcasting around 2008, 2009 when it first started. Listen, I started everything when it started. But the very first thing I did before I did any of those two was blogging. I had a blog on blogger.com. I did not understand what that meant. All I know is that I could go in there and I could talk about what I was eating, what I was doing. I didn't find that very intriguing. So I stopped doing that. That I just didn't find intriguing. So I stopped doing it. But fast forward to the day where I spend so much of my time on my Good Morning Gwinnett website, which is really a blog platform, but it is it started out as a hyper local blogging platform for me to talk about Gwinnett County, which is where I live. Right? That was my niche, Gwinnett County. And I probably could have really done something with that. The problem with that was I don't get out the house enough to put up enough news for me. Let me say this for me, because there are people who do really well in very cool niches on their blog about their community. For me, the way I looked at it was I needed to be out in the community a lot, right? And I don't get out enough in the community a lot. So the Good Morning Gwinnett has pivoted over the years, but I want to talk to you today about you starting a blog. Now you may want to start a hyperlocal blog, like a local town blog, and that's cool. You may want to start a blog about money. Money blogs do really well. You may want to start a blog about health and wellness. Those also do really well because money and wellness, health and wealth goes together. And people who write about those things normally do really well on their blog. I happen to like technology and business. That's why this blog has turned into local news, but everything else is global. Global business, national politics, global technology. I love it. The international workforce. To me, that's a blog that I can get behind and do every day. Now, that's my niche. I don't even know if I have a niche at this point. I have a title. I'm talking to people around the world, but it's titled for my local community. Gwinnett County is my local community. Now, that's probably a harder block to grow because it's not very niche. What I learned when I started, like later in life, about blogging is that you need to have a niche, right? And Gwinnett County was my niche, but it was overwhelming to me. And because I had to go out and I had to find the stories and tell the stories, whereas now I can talk about from my experience on blogging. I can go online and do some research. Not with my local blog. I had to go out in the community and find the people so I could tell the stories. That was daunting. That was overwhelming. And it really used to stress me out a lot. Like I would get on, even when I did the podcast, I would get up every morning. I would look for local news to talk about. I hate talking about bad news. So all I would see is just a plethora of just bad news. And I was like, I don't want to talk about that. Like that's going to bring my energy down early in the morning. I don't want to talk about that. So I struggled for like, I'm going to say 5 years. I struggled with that, but I did it anyway. I did it anyway. I did my blog every day. I did the podcast every day, but I struggled. I don't want you to struggle. So what I want you to do, if you're thinking about doing this as a business, the first thing I want you to do is think about something that you can really get behind and stay behind. The way I have set up Good Morning Gwinnett right now, I can get behind and I can stay behind because I love it. It makes me excited. I want you to do the same thing. Pick something from personal finance. These are profitable niches. Personal finance is a good niche. Let's break it down even further. Investing, budgeting, debt freedom. Debt free. Everybody want to be debt free. Everybody. That's why I talk about money on Good Morning Gwinnett. Everybody want to be debt free. See, what I did was I took these profitable niches and I put it inside of Good Morning Gwinnett. Why? Because my local community and my people who follow me around the world, they could still get the same kind of information that could change their lives, even though my blog is not niching down, right? So I talk about money. I talk about debt freedom. I created a tool called Debt Crusher Pro. It's on my website. Health and wellness. Now, I do not talk about health and wellness on the site. I started out talking about that, but I kind of struggled a little bit because I'm always leery about, endorsing products and saying the wrong thing to people because now they can go back and say, you got to be careful if you are in that space where let's say for instance you are into fitness, right? You go to the gym and you are an expert at Pilates, right? Come up with 52 titles that you can write about. Now I personally would say you need to be writing 2 or 3 times a week. So if it's Pilates, maybe you talk about meal prep for Pilates, things like that. But you want to blog as much as you possibly can. I do it 4 or 5 times a week, definitely 4, sometimes 5. Technology and AI, hot. I talk about that all the time. You know why? Because I use technology every single day that I sit at my computer. Every day. I did something with AI yesterday that I'm telling you I was like, that is amazing. So I'm working on an app for somebody and I'm looking at like it's an app for women and they wanted to have a digital journal inside the app. And I was like, I wonder can ChatGPT create me the code for this journal. So I went to ChatGPT and I prompt what I wanted, right? And I took the code and I embedded it under custom code and it came out gorgeous. I couldn't even sleep last night. Like I wanted to get up out the bed and come back to my computer around. It was like 11 o'clock and start to work on it again. Because I use tech and AI every day, I talk about tech and AI, right? because it's so amazing. Now, you can break it down even further. You can talk about gadgets, you can do software reviews, you can do AI trends. You can break it all the way down to niche it down as much as you need to. Online business. I talked about freelancing yesterday, right? Freelancing is a great way to get started. You just have to keep finding customers. That's the thing about freelancing. Like you have to keep finding customers, you have to keep it going. But you can also do an e-commerce business. I tried my hand at e-commerce, right? And I probably didn't do it right. I probably didn't do all of the things. It just Let me tell y'all a quick story. So back during the pandemic, I had an idea to create rugs, right? Like house rugs. And that's a good idea. And I still may go back to the idea to create I still may go back to the idea to create rugs, right? So in my mind, I was going to create these rugs and I was going to have them drop shipped. Well, guess what happened? I created the website on Shopify. And during the pandemic, I got three orders for $188 rug. I panicked. And the reason I panicked was because my rugs were coming from Turkey. And at that time the world had shut down. I panicked, y'all. And I shut that store. When I shipped them people, when them rugs came to them people, I shut that site right now. And it was so cute. Like the name was cute, the logo was cute, everything was cute about that. And I was like, oh my God, I should have kept going, but I was so deathly afraid. And I had a great plan for it, but I was just so afraid. Anyway, I said all that to say e-commerce could be a great way for you to do that. And here's the thing, you can put your blog on your e-commerce site. On Shopify, they allow you to have a blog. So if you have products coming out, like new products, you can go there and write a blog post on your Shopify store to talk about the product, to talk about the story behind the product. If you do things that are like you're a graphic artist or something and you got a new piece of art coming out.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You can literally go on your Shopify store and put a blog post about that piece of art. What inspired you? What does it mean? Who does it benefit? That kind of thing. That's a great thing. And then, of course, you can write about side hustles. You can write about side hustles all day long. Like there are so many people who talk about side hustles, YouTube channels that talk about side hustles, TikTok channels, Instagram channels, Facebook, because people want to know how to make some extra money. And your niche could be talking about side hustles. Let's break it down even further. Your niche could be talking about side hustles at flea markets. I'm just saying. I love this show called Flea Market Flip. I tried my hand at that. I wanted to flip some stuff. Now the problem with that is, in order to flip some stuff like upcycle, somebody has to be artistic and they can go in there and make it look pretty. That's not me. So when I did my little one stint at the flea market, I was like, yeah, it's not me. So my husband and I had I did it twice. The second time we did it, we had a store inside of a flea market in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where we did like custom t-shirts. So people would come into our store, we would take their picture. By the time they got finished shopping, we would have put the picture on a t-shirt and they could just pick it up. That worked out really well. And I can't remember why we stopped. I think the flea market closed. But that was pretty cool. We were making some side money. That was a side hustle. You can talk about flea market side hustles, right? That could be your niche. Now, let me tell you another really good niche. The travel niche. People love this niche. Why? Because they travel all the time. So if you can come up with a niche inside of the niche of travel, you probably do really good. Like budget traveling. Like if you like, there are people who are on budgets. They want to go beautiful places. You may come up with you may come up with a travel blog just for people who are on a budget. I had an idea for one, and the reason I had the idea, I can't tell y'all what it is because it's a really good one. Um, but I thought it was so cool. I thought it was so cool, and it's because it's something that I love and I want to do. I was like, I really want to do that, and it's like it's not really about traveling. It's about the experience that I want to have when I do this thing. I can't tell y'all because it's a really good one, but you can find one. You can do budget traveling. You can do the digital nomad lifestyle. That's the people that just travel around the world. They don't have like a home. They just travel and live life, and then they probably blog about that. You know, you can do that if that's what you want to do. There are people that live out of their vans. They just drive around. They got van life. I think there's something called van life where you can, these people live in their van. They just travel around and they record it and document like their lives as they move around these vans. That could be a nice blog, right? And education. Education is another one. Online courses are great. Skill development is wonderful. Study hacks, that could be really cool because the kids are looking for ways to graduate. So they want to find out about study hacks. You can just come up with a bunch of study hacks. And let's break it down even further. A bunch of study hacks for math. I'm just saying, I don't even know if there's such a thing. But the math person out, I used to be a math person. The math person out there who actually love math, you probably can come up with something, some study hacks in the math space. Now, let me say this. Let me say this. Whatever niche you decide to pick, right? Understand this. Think of it as a business. That's what this is about. Starting a blogging business, right? You have to think about past the first 1 year. Is that a topic that you can talk about for the next 5, 10, 15 years? See, for me, I talk about business. I could talk about that for the next business has been going on since the beginning of time. So there is no stopping that. AI, technology, there's no stopping that. Money, there's no stopping that. My local community where I live with news, there's no stopping that. It's going to happen. Pick a niche that you know you can get behind that's going to happen no matter what. It's going to keep going. Because what you don't want to do is pick a niche where you run out of stuff to talk about. You run out of stuff to write about. And I can tell you, you're going to get frustrated. When I used to have to get up every morning and try to figure out a whole show about Gwinnett County, like a whole, I would be stressed completely out because I couldn't find enough topics to talk about. You know, it used to stress me out so bad. Now, by the time I got on the air with you guys, I was stressed out. So now I write an article. If there's news, I write an article. People send me news, and it's one article, and I put it on the website. If they don't send me news all week, you know, I probably don't have anything to talk about on local news. But guess what? Business every day I got something to talk about. Money, tech, you know, every day. The workforce, not so much politics. Every day, every 5 minutes with politics. But I don't do it that often. I just try to put out something every day, right? So make sure that your niche is broad enough that if you want to continue to do this for 5, 10 years, you can do it. I know I'll be able to do this until they put me in the box. I know that because it's going to keep going. All right. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty is this. All right, let's talk about the startup costs, right? Now, this is one of the cheapest things you could probably do is start a blog. It's just cheap. All right, you're going to get a domain. First, you're going to decide on what your niche is, right? You pick that niche. You want to try to pick a niche and put the title of the niche inside of the title of your domain name. So my niche was Gwinnett County. I thought about Good Morning America, so I called it Good Morning Gwinnett, which is great. I've been doing it now almost 7 years. I don't plan on stopping unless somebody decide they want to come to acquire it for like $10 million. And I might say okay, you know, because I'm not one without ideas. So I take that 10 million and I'll flip a million. Not 10. All right. But anyway, you want to make sure that your domain name is the same title as your blog. Because and you want to make sure nobody else has that blog. So this is what I normally do, and this is what I tell my clients. What you don't want to do is search a name in Google and then go try to buy the name. I don't do that because I found out years ago there was a name I was trying to register. It was called Pearl something. It was Pearl something, right? And I remember Googling it and it was nobody owned it, right? And then when I went to go buy it, somebody bought it. I'm talking about it was like a few days later. And I was like, wait a minute. So that happened quite a few times. So what I tell people is, look, when you are definitely sure about your name for your blog, you go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or Google Domains and you buy it that day, that minute. Don't search it on Google first. Go inside of your platform. So what I'll do is, and I own 191 domain names. I know it's insanity. It's insanity, y'all. I get it. I know. So what I'll normally do, if I have an idea for a domain name, I'll go to Google. And I know people like, Audrey, why do you have so many domain names? Well, I have iterations of Good Morning Gwinnett and Good Morning Gwinnett, Good Morning Gwinnett. I have like all the iterations of my domain names. Some of them have 3 and 4 different ones because I never know when I'm going to use it. So what I'll do is I'll buy one and I buy them, and if I don't use them in a year, I drop them. Waste of money, yes, but I never know what my mind is gonna say do. So I have to keep them for a year just in case I want to keep them. All right, go to GoDaddy, Namecheap, Google Domains. What I'll normally do, I look in there, I see if my name is available, right? For some reason, when I do it in GoDaddy, if I say goodmorninggwinnett.com, it'll say goodmorninggwinnett.com is taken, but for 119, we can try to get it for you, right? So if it says something like that, then I'll go to Google and Google it to make sure that the .com is not taken or whatever. Make sure I'm not infringing on somebody's, trademark and stuff like that. If that comes up clear, I will buy .co. So .com, somebody's holding, they're just sitting on it. They want somebody to come and buy it. I'll buy .co. I'll buy .biz. I'll buy .pro. They was like, oh, you don't want to buy. I will buy any of those. You know why? Because I'm driving people to those sites, and people are not saying, well, she drove me to this site, but it doesn't say .com. They don't care about that. You can buy .ai, .io, .tech, .academy, .institute, .business, you can buy all of these dots. Whatever dot is going to help me do what I need to do, that's a dot that I will buy. So I will go to Google, I will go to GoDaddy, I'll search in the search engine inside of my GoDaddy account. I see some, it say the .com may be gone, but the .co, the .net, the whatever, .info, .io, they may be available. Now look at this. Okay, do I need those? The ones that I think I may need, I will put them inside my shopping cart, and then I'll go back to Google, and then I'll Google it and make sure that it's not taken or somebody's trademark. That has happened. I do that all the time. That's my process. But there have been times when I've Googled something and there's too many people out there with the same kind of domain name. The reason you don't want to do that is because you don't want people to confuse your domain, your website with somebody else's, because they could easily say .com and you want them to say .co because people are so used to saying .com. Here's the thing. That does happen. But if they go to the .com and it's not up and you've already checked that it's not available, it's nothing there but like a park page with like some ads on it or something, you already know that it's not there. So they'll go back and say, well, that can't be the page. And they'll look at what you actually sent them, which is the .co or whatever your dot is, and then they'll go to that page, right? So that's how I buy my domain name. Now, site hosting. Because all of my domain names pretty much sit on GoDaddy, I normally host my WordPress sites on GoDaddy. Yeah, because it's just a lot easier for the two platforms to speak to each other. So I've tried to have my domain on GoDaddy, but my website is on Bluehost. It's a hot mess. It's just a hot mess. And I was like, for me it was, so because I forget. And I'm like, okay, so I just do everything on GoDaddy. GoDaddy has changed so much over the years. They do a million things, but I happen to like them. Now, your domain name, depending on where you buy from, $10 to $15 a year. Now, let me say this. You may pay $10 to $15, but they could go up because I paid $8.99 for a .com, and a year later it's $21.99. Why that happens, I don't know. But here's the thing: now I'm locked in. I got to keep my domain name, so I got to pay the $21.99.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So be prepared for that. You can start out on the cheap side, but if the domain owner, the platform that sells you the domain name, decide they want to go up, they're going to go up. They don't care about you. Right? It's business to them, and that's what they're looking at. All right, WordPress. I happen to use my hosting. I use WordPress, but I use my hosting through GoDaddy, and I use a WordPress site. I have done work for people who have GoDaddy sites and they're nice. I just like using WordPress because it gives me so many more options. And when I started Good Morning Gwinnett, I started on Weebly because it was a hyperlocal site. And so I thought it was good. It was a hyperlocal blog site. So I thought it was good until my Weebly site completely crashed and I lost my entire site. So I had to start back over. This time I said, you know what? Let me go see what Huffington Post is built on. Huffington Post is built on WordPress. And I was like, yes, that's kind of like my blueprint. If Huffington Post is built on WordPress, then Good Morning Gwinnett needs to be on WordPress. So I went on WordPress and I set my site up. So it's on WordPress. Now, let me say this. GoDaddy has some very nice templates. So does Wix. They're a little bit simpler to use than WordPress. WordPress has a little bit of a learning curve. I find that Wix can have a little bit of a learning curve too. GoDaddy is probably the simplest way for you to start a website. Now, that being said, Hostinger, I don't have a site on Hostinger anymore. I used to, and when I had my site, I created a WordPress site. But Hostinger has AI built in, and it also has hosting. That's why it's called Hostinger. It has AI built in, and all you gotta do is type in what you want, like a prompt, and it'll create the website. Let me say that again because somebody missed it. You can go to Hostinger. You can buy your domain name there. You can get your hosting there. You can also build your website there, and AI will do the whole thing for you. It will build out the site for you based on what you're asking it, and then once it's built it out. I'm talking about put in the tech, the content on the site, everything. You may not like the images that it put up. You maybe want to go back and edit the text, but you can do that once it's done. It takes about 35, 40 seconds. Did you hear what I just said? I'm sorry, website developers. I have to share this because somebody is looking right now saying, hey, I want to start a blogging business, and I only have like $500 or less. Can I do it? Yes, you can. So Hostinger, I want to say the business plan, the plan that I had was like $3.99 a month, which came out to something like $28 for the year. It's something crazy cheap, right? For hosting, and the website came with it. So Hostinger is probably a great platform for you to go and use AI to build your site. All right, now that's going to cost you about let's say $30. So $30 for that. You got $30 for that, and that includes hosting. When I use WordPress, I use a theme that's already out there. Like, I don't go try to buy no themes. You can buy themes if you want to. I bought a theme years ago. I just find it's not necessary. I can just use what they have inside of the WordPress platform because they have so many great ones. And if you use a Hostinger, you can just tell it what you want. This is what I want. I want to have a WordPress site. It needs to have this many pictures on the home page, this kind of scrolling bar. You can tell it that. Why? Because I'm using AI every single day. All right. So now you're at about what we got about, let's say 15 on the high end for the domain name. Let's say 36 for the hosting. What are we at? Like $41, $31. You want to go to Canva and do some branding. Now you can go to Canva and do your logo and all that stuff. That is free. It starts out at free up to $50 a month. I have the $12.99 plan that I use all the time. And it comes with a lot. It's like WordPress. Canva is like WordPress. It's because you can pretty much go in there and create anything, videos, audios. You can create images. You can create anything in Canva. $12.99 is what I pay. All right, so now you're at $12.99, but you can use free, but just know that you're going to be limited. So I'm going to say go ahead and get the pro plan, $12.99. Email. You can start out with something like MailChimp. It's free. When you get to 2,500 subscribers, you have to start paying. Okay, so you want to embed that into your website because you want to capture names. Now, I'm guilty of not having this on Good Morning Gwinnett right now. It's on my to-do list for real. Like, that is a part. I need to put that newsletter. But the thing about that is, I'm like, man, do I want to put out a newsletter? I tried that. Suck at that. I don't suck at it. It's just that, again, I couldn't figure out things to write about. But anyway, you can put a newsletter sign up on your website, and you can use like Maryland Light. That's free. ConvertKit got like a free plan. That's free. That's free. You got a whole bunch of free images that you can use, like from Pixels, and Canva. You listen, you got Canva, you really don't need nothing else unless you're looking for something very specific that Canva does not have. And even with that, Canva is now partnering with Leonardo, which I love. I think I paid $12 for Leonardo, but it's built into Canva. I don't have to pay that. I just love Leonardo.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You can go in there and create stuff with AI inside of Canva. So images and all that stuff, get the $12.99 Canva, and now you're good. Now we're definitely under $500. We're probably under $300 at this point, right? This is how easy and simple it is to start a blog business. Now you got to register the company name. That's $100, right? So now your company name, your domain name, your hosting, your Canva account. Yeah, we right around 300, somewhere close to 300. That's less than $500, y'all. Now you want to get you some business cards, throw that in there. That's another maybe $50. What else am I missing? If you want to have a dedicated phone line, which I wouldn't suggest that if you're not going to answer it, because that could be a problem. But if you want to have one, let's say you want to do like text messaging, that's about another $30. You want to have like a text message on there. You want to have like a chat bot on there, that may be another $12, $15 a month. You're going to be able to start this business in a really good way for less than $500, right? So I just broke that down. Now, let's talk about some pros and cons of this blogging thing, because there's some pros and cons. Some pros and cons about this. And I don't want you to think that it's all willy-nilly. Well, let's talk about money first. Let's talk about money, then I'll give you pros and cons. So how can you monetize your blog? If you go to goodmorninggwinnett.com, right, at the very, very top, you'll see a banner that says support goodmorninggwinnett.com. Attached to that banner is a link to my Spreaker's account where you can subscribe to this show and support this show in the blog by clicking that link. When you do that, you can click the link to say, yes, I want to support this show for $5.99, right? And a month. So people can go there and to support the show for $5.99 a month. They can do that, right? That is simple. That is real simple. Now, that's one way to make money. The other way to make money is via affiliate marketing. If you go to any of the articles on the site, you're going to see either a book with a link back to Amazon. You're going to see some hyperlinks inside of the blog. They're 9 times out of 10 linked to they're linked to Amazon. You may see some kind of other graphic inside of there. It's linked to an affiliate account. You may see the image for Debt Crusher Pro and some of the money articles. It's linked back to my Debt Crusher Pro chatbot, smart bot. You may see something in there about press releases. It's probably linked to PressBot. So I make money those ways. I have not yet made money from display ads, because to make money from display ads through like Google AdSense, She Media, Mediavine, Ezoic, I tried, but Ezoic crashed my site. I was like, yeah, this is nope, we gotta take this off. So Ezoic is an ad serving platform that you don't have to have like for Mediavine, you have to have something like 20 to 50,000 impressions, I believe, a month. I do believe that I'm at 22,000. I looked at my stats yesterday. I'm at 22,000. I was like, oh my God, couldn't even believe it in 1 month, which is amazing. So now I think I can apply to Mediavine, but Mediavine requires you to have 20. I think I don't know if it's impressions or traffic, but it's 20,000 to 50,000. That's a lot, but you got to get out there and get it. She Media, I think, is 20,000 too. Google Ads, there is no certain amount of traffic you have to have. You just got to figure out how to get Google Ads on the website, which is what I've done. Which is what I tried to do over the weekend, and I was like, okay, something is not working. It's stressing me out. I'm just gonna leave it for next week, which is this week, and I will work again on getting Google AdSense on the website. Now, for me, I didn't try to put Google AdSense on in the beginning because I was like, I don't want all that junk popping up on my. And then not that it's junk, but I hate to go to sites where you can't even get through the site because it has so many ads on it. I think that's annoying, but it's working for people. I just didn't want that to be my site. So I never looked at Google Ads. I didn't know until recently when I started to go back and look at it again that I could have had ads only show up on the post pages. I was worried about it being on my homepage. I was like, I don't want ads on my homepage like that. I didn't know that I could have put them just on the post pages. So now that I know that, I'm trying to figure out how to get it on there. And I may just go to Fiverr and hire somebody like, look, get my Google Ads put on this site. Get me set up. So Google Ads is one, and display ads through like those site type of things. You can sell digital products. I happen to have, if you go to Good Morning Gwinnett right now, if you look across the top, if you go to the navigation bar, you'll see PressBot. That's mine, right? And and it made sense because I have a news site. I put out press releases. So people who don't know how to write a press release, they can go in there, write a press release, and when they write the press release, they can send it to me and I put it on the website. So there's a fee for that. I have a chat bot called Debt Crusher Pro. I talk about debt and money and crypto and all that stuff on the website and investing, right? But I put that in my navigation bar because, again, if you want to go to Debt Crusher Pro and use the service, it's a tab there that you can click on that takes you to the website, and it starts at, I want to say, I think I got it starting at, I think I have 3 plans, and it's starting at like $18 a month for you to get out of debt, learn how to invest, learn how to protect your assets, and also how to start a side hustle. Great tool in my opinion. So it's on the front of my website. So instead of me selling digital products, I have smart bots that I sell. Now, but you can sell digital products, right? The other way you can do is sell ads yourself. So I have a business directory called a Biz List on my site where people can pay $27 a month and their business is listed inside of the Biz List, or they can advertise on the front of the site under featured businesses for $250 a month, and it's on the front of the site. So these are ways for you to make money. And then people do like sponsored posts where they pay you to post for them on your site. That's called a sponsored post, right? So you got digital products, you got affiliate marketing that you can do. Amazon is the one that I do, but I also do one from Impact. I got not Impact, Partner Stack. Partner Stack is a place where you can go and find products that you want to promote on your website. Let me tell you something. If you go to something like a Partner Stack, and this is something people need to think about. If you go to a Partner Stack, right, and you find, let's say you find a tech product that you like, you really like it, it's solving some problems. If you look at the problem that tech product is solving, you could probably create an entire blog around the problems that it's solving. And every time you write about anything on your blog post, you hyperlink it to that product that you are an affiliate for. But your entire blog is about those problems that product solve. Let me say that again because somebody missed it. You can go to something like a Partner Stack. You can probably go to like AppSumo, and I'm talking tech right now. Find a product that solves a problem, like a big problem, right? It's a problem. It's going to be a problem. It comes with new problems, but this product right here solves that. Look at that product and say, okay, can I come up with 365 problems that this product can solve? And you may say yes. Now, why did I say 365? Because I want you to come up with enough topics that if you wanted to blog every day, you could. But you may not want to blog every day. You may want to blog 3 times a week. So what does that come out to? Something like 200 and something, 180, right? Topics. So you take them topics and you blog about them, but you hyperlink that product that you are an affiliate for inside of every article. But you're solving a problem. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that you talk about solving the problem, what the problem is. Then you hyperlink your answer to that problem inside of the blog. That's some game I just gave somebody. Go take it, bite it, find a product, listen, I created a blog just about cheese. Much as I love cheese, I was like, do I really want to sit here and talk about cheese every day? I did not. But I started out talking about cheese, but I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. So make money from affiliate marketing, make money from display ads, make money from digital products, make money from sponsored posts, make money from paid chat bots, smart bots, things like that. Make money from advertising your own stuff. I gotta buy me a coffee on some of my pages. That's a little thing where you can say, hey, buy me a coffee. And people, if they like what you have said, they can just go and just click the link to buy you a coffee. People use Patreon. I've never used Patreon because I think for me, Patreon had too many, like I had to promise something. Like I had to manage the community. I was like, I don't want to do all that, too much work. Buy me a coffee. I'm happy with the coffee. That's me. That's just me, y'all. You can do how you want to do it. It's just me. I didn't want to do all that. So I didn't do the whole, I didn't want to do like Patreon because Patreon, you got to offer like something. And I was like, I don't feel like doing all that. I just didn't feel like doing it. So I do buy me a coffee. I do my banner for Good Morning Gwinnett, support Good Morning Gwinnett. I do that, which I happen to like doing that. So so now when people get finished reading the article or they get finished listen to the show, there's a buy me a coffee link in there or a support Good Morning Gwinnett in there. That's how I am able to make make money from this. All right. Now let's talk about some cons about this whole thing because it sounds great, right? It sounds like I can do it. I know you can, but let's talk about the pros and the cons, right? Pro number one is low startup costs. I think I just walked you through the startup cost, and it's less than $500 for sure. It's probably less than 400. It has passive income potential, but not really because you still have to write. But you could be making like once you write. I have an article that I don't know. I think I wrote this article probably about 5 6 months ago, and it was like my number one article this last month. And I was like, what? It was something about teachers. But anytime I write about teachers, it was a good article. And so if there were any links in that article, 9 times out of 10, I probably I probably would have made some money through Amazon because I that's normally what I use. It's flexible. Starting a blog is flexible. You can do it from anywhere. Long as there's internet, you can do it. You can do it on your phone because if you can sign into your WordPress account, you can go in there and sign it and do a blog. You don't have to have any inventory. You ain't got to create no products. You just got to write, research, write, research, write, and research. That's all you got to do. Come up with great images, come up with something that somebody really needs is going to help them, right? And it's very scalable. People have made millions. I could kick myself plenty of times because I was like, man, I can't believe I let that slip through my fingers like that. But I did because I didn't know any better. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. Listen to this show. I hope you know better. I hope you know better so you can do better. All right, so those are the pros. Pros again, low startup costs, passive income potential, but not really. You still got to do the work. Flexible and remote. You can work remote and do it. You can work from anywhere as long as there's internet. It's scalable. You can scale. I've seen cooking blogs turn into cooking pot sets. They put their brand on like cookery and things like that. Turn it now they're into like e-commerce. Yeah, you could go that way. I even thought about listen, I was going to do a breakfast beer because I feel like I don't even like beer. But I went to a brewery. I was like, hey, can you make me a specialty beer? And they told me, Audrey, you don't want to do that. That's a lot of headache. That's a lot of headache. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. You're the professional. They told me about doing a hard cider. And they was like, that may be a better way to go do a breakfast cider. I thought about a really cool breakfast cider, and I still have not gotten rid of that idea yet. But I kind of hit pause. But I thought about it. I thought about it. So that's another product outside of what I'm doing now. I could tell you the hard cider that they told me about, I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And I still may do that. I still may do that because I do this show every week. So, and it was a breakfast beer. I had thought about doing some coffee. I did a whole photo shoot with my coffee. It was called Sunrise, you know, all of that. And I still may do that because now we have a roaster downtown at called Break Coffee Roasters, and I may go down there and say, hey, can I come down here and get my own coffee to sell on my show? Now here's the thing about that. I can send the traffic over to them. Like, look, I got a coffee over at Breaks. It's called Sunrise Kiss or something because I think mine had vanilla in it or something like that. Can you do that? And I may do that. I just may do that. I may send all my traffic right over there to buy that coffee. So I might have to let me write that down. That's a note to self. Coffee again. Break. Listen, y'all listen to me. Ideation online here. Break. Okay. Okay, so those are your pros. Now let's talk about these cons. It takes time to grow. This is what you must understand. This is not a get rich overnight kind of thing. It's going to take some time to grow. Now, although the startup costs are low, what I've discovered over the last year and a half is that I was doing it with the way I was taught to do it. You go on there, you do a lot of SEO, it's the long game. What I found out is that people been running ads to their blogs, to their newsletter, to their podcast. I'm like, what? I'm doing it the hard, long way. But now I'm learning that people have been running ads. I'm like, what? You mean tell me I could have been running ads? I could have blown up years ago, right? Years ago. I'm going to blow up this year. Good Morning Gwinnett will be a $1 million entity this year, 2025. Mark my words when I tell you. And I'm sharing that with you because I want you to understand that this is very doable. And the top con is it takes time to grow. But here's the thing. You can skip the line if you have enough money to run ads. Now, how much money you need to run ads, I don't know. Because I have not sat down with an ad professional yet to figure out which platform I want to run ads on. None of that stuff. And it's probably going to be Google ads. or Facebook ads. Um, so make sure that if you're gonna run ads, that it's in your budget, right? Otherwise, you're gonna go for the long game, and it's gonna take some time to grow. Here's what I want you to know about that. When you think about taking time to grow, SEO is gonna be a key part of what you gotta do. SEO is like a science. Like I go on, but there are tools for that. Whenever I do an article on Good Morning Gwinnett, I have a tool that's embedded. It's called Rank Monster. I think it's called Rank Monster. And Rank Monster would tell me your heading is not in the green, right? I have to go back and I have to rework my heading until I get to the green, which is like 70. 70 out of 100. When I get to green, I'm normally good. Today my headline is 73.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm normally good with that. I go back, I look at my SEO, it'll say your meta description does not include the meta keyword. I have to make sure that's right. Your images are not tagged with your keyword. I have to make sure that's right. You have too many keywords in the article. It's oversaturated. I have to change that. It is a sign. You don't have any H1, H2, H3 subheading tags. I have to change that. These are the things that I do every day. But now that I know how to do it, I don't mind doing it. And it doesn't take me as long because now I know how to do it. If you're just starting out, you may say, Audrey, I don't know SEO marketing, right? And it is a learning curve, but I've been doing this, I just said 7 years. So I have learned how to do these things. If you don't know how to do that, find an SEO specialist that will help you out because they are out there. Go to Fiverr, you can find somebody. They will help you. All right? All right. Blogging can be competitive, right? But you have to find your niche. Let me tell you a quick story. So when I started Good Morning Gwinnett, I didn't start it to compete with Gwinnett Daily Post, which is our local news site, right? That's not why I started. I like media. And I wanted to be in the media space. I wanted to get to know Gwinnett County. So it only made sense for me to do a morning kind of thing, right? And it started out as just a podcast. It was not a news site at all. It morphed into a news site when my site crashed in 2020. I think it crashed in 2022. It crashed. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this over, it needs to be a news site. So then I started doing news, and I'm like, I hate doing news like this, the way I'm doing it. And plus, I didn't want to compete with with Gwinnett Daily Post. I didn't want to compete with them. And I was like, I have to find my footing. It took me another 2 years to figure out what that looked like, right? Hence is what you see today. So the competition can be very competitive. What I would say to you is find your thing. Find your one, Gwinnett County. And I'm talking to Gwinnetians about business. I'm doing the blueprint. I got a podcast. I'm talking about the blueprints on the podcast. I'm bringing on people starting next month to talk about their blueprint that I'm going to put on the website, on the YouTube channel. That's my niche. And I'm talking to you around the world, and I'm talking to my community. Now, hyperlocal blogging can be great because if there's nobody talking about things in your town, you can own that space. If I wanted to start a blog just about Lawrenceville, I probably could own that space. It's about 40,000 people that live in Lawrenceville. We're the largest city in Gwinnett County. I probably could find a lot to talk about in Lawrenceville, but I got to go out there and find it. I don't want to do that. Now, if that's you and you don't mind floating around. Now, I will be out more this year promoting Good Morning Gwinnett because I want to get to that 50,000 visitors a month to my website so I can become a media buying partner, right? So, but if that's not you, then you don't want to do that. But what you may want to do is look at something in your community that you can talk about on a regular basis. And remember, it needs to be something that you can talk about for the next 5 to 10 years. Even if you don't last that long, you need to be able to talk about that thing for that long, just in case you do, right? So this way, it'll make you have less competition because nobody is talking about it the way you talk about it. Good Morning Gwinnett. I don't know anybody doing it the way I'm doing it in Gwinnett County. When I look at my site, when I look at Gwinnett Daily Post, totally different. I got a little bit of local news, but I got a lot of money stuff. I got a lot of business stuff. I got a lot of tech stuff. I got the civic circus in a different way. Even with that, I was like, I I need this to be catchy. So I call politics in the great United States the civic circus, because every day it's like a mother effing circus going on in the United States with politics, right? So I call it the civic circus. That's what I call it. Ain't nobody doing it. So find your, even if you say, you know what, Audrey, and this is a good idea for somebody listening. Let's say that you talked about your local community, and this is an idea, y'all. I have not tried it. This just came to me. Let's say that you talked about something in your local community every day, right? And it could be something for the kids. It could be, and you did a comic strip, and you posted the comic strip as an image on your blog. And then you told a short story about the comic strip. And then you took the short story that's in writing and you take it over to 11 Labs and you drop it in 11 Labs and you turn it into a little audio. And then you take the audio and you put it on the blog, on the podcast platform. Just gave game to somebody. Listen, if somebody starts that business, holler at me. Shoot me an email, Audrey at goodmorninggwinnett.com, because that's a great idea. It could be for the kids. Let me write that down because I might have to do something with that. Listen, I love this space. I love this space that I'm in right now. I love this space. I'm about to write this down. Kids blog. I'm writing it down because it's such a good idea. Listen, you could do the same thing. You could do the exact same thing. You could talk about adventures, right? That's going to make you have less competition because nobody's doing it like you. Think outside of the box. I'm outside of the box. I live outside of the box all the time. All right. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the traffic that you have to rely on from Google. This is a headache for a lot of folks because Google changes the algorithm all the time. And when they do that, it affects our blogs. It affects everybody's site. Right? Everybody just starts scrambling because their site has lost it's crazy. I said to myself, and that used to drive me insane. I was like, you know what? I can't rely on that. So what I plan on doing is making sure, because Good Morning Gwinnett is semi-hyper local, is making sure that when I go out, I'm talking about Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm passing out business cards. Like, that's what I'm doing because now I don't have to rely on Google driving traffic back to my site. The other thing I'm going to do is run ads. Why? Because I don't have to rely on Google driving traffic. I want Google to drive traffic, but Google is always changing the algorithms. Like, I don't know why they change so much. They do these updates, and when they do the updates, all the bloggers are scrambling like, oh my God, my site is, it happens every single time. So understand that is a huge con for most of us. The way to circumvent that is to make sure that you are driving traffic from other places, not only just from Google. When I talk about Good Morning Gwinnett on this show, guess what I'm doing? The people around the world listening to the show can go to goodmorninggwinnett.com, because remember, I just said it, goodmorninggwinnett.com, to check out the articles. If you want this entire blueprint that I talked about today about blogging and starting your blogging business, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com. The entire blueprint is there with the pros and the cons, with the next step. It's all right there for you. Know why? Because I did the article for you. It talks about how to build your email list, how to monetize your blog, how to drive traffic to your blog, ideas for your blog. All of it is right there. All of it. And I'm telling you, when you're listening, hey, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to get this. I'm driving traffic from somewhere else because if Google decide they want to change the algorithms, nothing you can do about that. Not a thing. So that used to drive me bananas. And I was like, this is driving me bananas. I'm already struggling because I had to learn SEO. I didn't have to, but I did because I do so many blog posts. I was like, I'm going to learn, and I did. So now I learned, plus I got great tools. But then Google still changes its mind about stuff. And when it does that, it throws everybody off, and everybody is scrambling at that point. They're scrambling like, oh my God. So don't let that happen to you. That's what I'm saying. Don't let that happen to you. I feel like I've been talking a lot. I think I have. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close this segment out. Listen, blogging is not dead. A lot of people say blogging is dead. It is not. I'm a key witness that it's not. And if it's something that you know you can get behind and love like I do, like talking on this microphone and getting on this site and writing stuff, I love this. Like I can see me doing this for the rest of my life. And honestly, y'all, I'm just being straight transparent. I really don't want to do nothing else. I got other obligations that I really dread doing because I have finally gotten to the point where I have fallen in love with what I'm doing when I talk to you guys and write on my website. I have finally got to that point where that's where I am. I feel it in my spirit right now. Everything else that I'm attached to, I don't want to do it. I just don't. Like, I have one big obligation that I want to step away from so very badly. I just do. Because I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing. And I'm looking so forward to taking this to the next level. And I'm so happy to be at this place in my life because it has taken me 4.5, 5 years to get here because I struggled with, what do I write about? How do I do this? How do I do that? I feel like I finally have the blueprint to make it happen. And I'm excited about it, and that's all I want to do. I don't want to do it. Yes, I have great ideas. I get a bunch of them, right? And I'll write them down like I did just now. And I might look at them and nah, I'm not doing that. But there are certain things, like I have completely like gotten rid of pretty much everything in my life except for these two things. I got one other thing that's a major obligation right now. And even though I said I was going to keep doing it, I probably won't because I really want to focus on the stuff that I love. I love creating content. I love blogging and talking and creating videos. I love creating content. And I realize that that's what I do. I love creating content. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If it wasn't for you, then please do me a favor and share it with somebody else. Blogging is not dead. And there's so many ways to make it work for you. You don't have to worry about, Google. Go out there and meet your local community. People, I've built great relationships because of Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm talking about really good ones because of this show, because of this news site. And I'm positive, not almost, I'm positive I'll hit my goal of $1 million this year for this show. I'm positive about that. I feel it in my spirit. You know why? Because that's what my focus is. Where your focus goes, that's what grows. That's what it is. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m., God willing. If you miss any episodes of this show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes there. Listen, I thank you so much for listening. You could be anywhere in the world, but you spent the last 54 minutes with me, and I love and appreciate you for that. Be sure to tune in for tomorrow. Subscribe, share. I'll be back again tomorrow. You guys stay safe out there. And until next time, my friends, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Business Blueprint on Good Morning Gwinnett. Thank you for tuning in and spending time with us. If you found value in today's show, consider supporting us for just $5.99 a month. Every contribution helps keep this content coming your way. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Good Morning Gwinnett for even more great content. And if you know someone who could use this information, share the show with at least 2 friends. Let's grow this community together. Until next time, stay inspired and keep building your blueprint for success.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.